y'all? We're back with another video. As you guys can see, it is just me, and this story time is going to be about how God gave me a dream about my husband before I met my husband. Yeah, before I met him. So just a little backstory. I was 3 years out of high school before meeting my husband. I was a couple months away from being 21. So the kind of girl that I was growing up was one that desired love. Love was something that had been on my mind since I was younger. I wanted the perfect love story. In high school, writing hearts around names in a classroom. I was also the one sitting in the room, singing love songs. Even in elementary school, my email was "Love is crazy." And I remember telling my brother that email, and he was like, "What do you know about love?" And I said, but it wasn't long before I found out. Even though I seen the negative effects of love, I seen love hurt people. I've seen love depress people and leave people lonely. I've seen the destruction that love can do. I also acknowledge the beauty of love. I've seen love make people come alive. I've seen that glow around people that were in love. I've seen the joy that love brings, you know? So I knew that it wasn't gonna be an easy journey. Because of my desire of love, I made a lot of choices. I forced a lot of situations that shouldn't have been. So before meeting my husband, you could say my heart was cold. I no longer cared. I no longer had the desire. I was just here. I was just here on a day-to-day, but a part of me no longer felt alive. And that's just because of a lot of things that I was going through, which is another story time. But before meeting my husband, I just didn't feel it anymore. So a couple months before meeting him, I have a dream. Now, before I get into the dream reflected a book that I wrote when I was younger. Now, that was one of the things that I used to do a lot, which I still love to do, is write. So I wrote a whole story. It was a coming to age book. It was about a boy and girl who were in love. They used to spend some time together just talking, sitting in front of the building, just having their conversations. But they were both going through things in their personal lives. So she was going through a lot of things in her family. Things were changing. People were leaving. People were coming. And he was also dealing with his own set of things in his life. So them coming together and them spending the time together was the highlight of their lives for the moment, right? It was the happiness that they felt together, which made the story so special. When the Lord gave me the dream, so one of the major parts of the story was the first date, right? And at the time when I was younger, I thought the ultimate first date was the movies. I thought the popcorn, watching the movies, relaxing, holding hands. So that was their first date. And also the conversations that they would have on the train ride home. That was in the story, right? So when God gave me a dream about my husband, I couldn't see the face. I can just remember the love that I felt for the person. I remember knowing that this person loved me, and I remember the jacket that they wore. I also remember being on the train. So that was all that the Lord gave me. My stop came. And when my stop came, I got off the train, but I was saddened. I didn't want to leave. So then that's when he comes to the window of the train and waves goodbye, and I'm leaving the train station, right? Then I wake up. Of course, because of the space that I was in at the time, I woke up from that dream, and it was just a dream to me. It wasn't something that I thought about. It wasn't something that I even tried to figure out, like, who was that? I didn't care. I didn't care because all the times that I thought that I found love, I didn't. I just no longer was looking for love. So after that dream, there was a lot of things that happened in my life that put me in a space of reflection. It put me in a space of staying up late, just thinking about my choices, thinking about my decisions. But more importantly, thinking about the person that I was becoming, you know? So before meeting my husband, I also was living a life of just not caring. Alcohol was involved, late night, early mornings was involved. And before meeting my husband, the Lord completely slowed me down. He slowed me down where I spent more time with myself. I spent more time thinking about the friendships and the relationships that I had. Even in this season, a lot of people that I have kept in my life for a while, I just found myself separating from. it was also a separation from things that were no longer serving me. So I was letting go and just doing my own thing. I don't really want to take away from part 2 and fill that in. So I don't really want to add anything from part 2 into this video, but I'm just going to say we became friends. And there was this one particular day where we met up to go to work, like how we talked about in part 1. He had the jacket on that the guy in the dream had on. So when I seen him, it was literally like, of course I didn't want to say to him, hey, like the jacket that you had on, I didn't want to share the dream. Like, hey, even though we were that close and I could have, I didn't want to. It was just like something that I suppressed because I knew that that was my confirmation. I knew that he was the one in the dream. We're on the train. The dream was on the train. He had the jacket. And it was like God was revealing him to me. But at the time, I wasn't following the Lord. At the time, I didn't know much about the Lord. I hadn't had that encounter that touched my heart. You know, I remember being younger and praying and my prayers being answered. And I remember the grace was always on my life. It was always situations where things could have went wrong that I knew that God pulled me out of. But I didn't have the relationship to go, and I didn't have the relationship or the knowledge to go back home and pray about it, you know. So that's it. That's how God gave me the confirmation. Of course, I'm not going to add in this video, but I'm going to let you know what happened and where my mind went after knowing, like, hey, this is the one. I would also like to encourage everybody to pray over their dreams. Pray over your dreams. Pray for revelation. Pray for understanding. Pray for wisdom, because God is always speaking. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. We're going to finish out this story. It's been amazing just sitting and remanicing about how it all began. How we got here.